Rabbi Pinchas Landis of Partners in Torah Cleveland. You might notice by looking at this video that my face looks slightly different than usual, and that is of course because of the big facial growth that is there. Why do I have this? No, I'm not looking into a new style, and even if I was, my wife wouldn't even consider it. The reason is because we're in a time period of National Jewish Mourning, an annual period of mourning that marks the death of the 24,000 students of the great Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva was a man who literally went from nothing, from being an adult man at the age of 40, not even knowing Aleph Beis, not even knowing how to read a word of Hebrew, and within 24 years became the biggest scholar of the Jewish people. He built an academy, 1,000 students for each year that he was working on his own personal growth. But in one short period of 32 days, all of those 24,000 students were told perished. They perished because of lo nogu kavod zeh b'zeh. They didn't honor each other properly. You can imagine for a moment how trying of a time that was for Rabbi Akiva. You have this man who worked so hard to persevere, to better himself, to become something more than what he was. And not only that, but to spread it throughout the Jewish people to 24,000 students. He was the pillar of Torah. His academy represented all of Torah scholarship that existed at that time. And in just over a month, it comes to an end. It dies. It passes away. That's this time period. This time period that we know as the counting of the Omer, because we're also counting the days from Passover to Shavuos. But the days are marked by these horrible tragedies that happened during this time. It's interesting though, because the 33rd day of the Omer is known as a holiday. It's known as Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day. Why is it a holiday? You can look in all the sources and they'll tell you the same thing. Because on the 33rd day of the Omer, all of the students stopped dying. The plague came to an end. No more tragedy. So because of that, the day becomes a holiday. But you can stop and ask yourself a question. Of course they all stopped dying on the 33rd day of the Omer. You know why? Because they were all dead already. There was no one left to die. So for that we make a holiday? You know what? We have a tragedy going on. 24,000 people are dying every day. You can do the math. Thousands of people and nearly 1,000 people a day. And finally they're all dead? Yes, let's make a holiday. Let's remember it annually as a holiday. It doesn't make any sense. So therefore, what are we celebrating on the holiday of Lag BaOmer? I heard a wonderful message from one of my teachers that I'd like to share with you. And that is that on Lag BaOmer, we're not necessarily celebrating so much that they stopped dying because they were all dead. You know what we're celebrating? We're celebrating that great man of Rabbi Akiva. Because you know what he did after all 24,000 students passed away? You know what happened after everything he worked so hard to build crumbled to be nothing? He started over again. He started over again with 5 students, Rabbi Yehuda bar Elai, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Lazar ben Shamur, Rabbi Yossi bar Chalafta, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. He started over with 5 students. And from those 5 students, he rebuilt all the Torah scholarship that he had previously built with the 24,000 students. And because of that, and because of those 5 students, we're here today to tell the story. We're here today still learning the same things that Rabbi Akiva taught. We're here today observing the same Torah that Rabbi Akiva observed. Because you know what? He didn't give up when everything fell apart. And would anyone have faulted him if he did? After all that the man went through, would anyone have said, you should really pick up and try again? No. But he did. He got up, he dusted himself off, and he began to rebuild. And because of that, Rabbi Akiva lives on. We still live in a generation where many of us are either the children or grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. And we can't at all judge how anyone responded to that horrible Gehenna, to that horrible time of the Jewish people. But there's so many of those survivors that knew that they went through hell and still got up, started over again, built families, and built amazing things. And as a dear friend of mine always points out, that's the biggest revenge to Hitler. There's an amazing story told of the Panovich Rav, Rabbi Yosef Shalom Kahneman, who literally picked up his yeshiva from Panovich, from a town in Europe, and moved it to the land of Israel, to a city called Bnei Brak, which happens to be the city of Rabbi Akiva. And he rebuilt his yeshiva. When the Nazis were in control of almost all of Europe. When the Nazis were in northern Africa. When there were only sand dunes separating the Nazis from him in Eretz Yisrael. That's when he picked up and moved his yeshiva to Bnei Brak. People told him he was crazy. The Nazis are going to come right over that sand dune and blow you off the face of the planet. But he said, no, because Torah is going to live on. Torah is going to live on after these Nazis. And you know what? He was right. And I don't know if that's why he picked Bnei Brak, because that was the city of Rabbi Akiva, but it was definitely that power of Rabbi Akiva, that power of Lag BaOmer, that power to get up after you fall down and keep growing and keep moving. That's what Rabbi Kahaneman did, and that's what the Jewish people do. There's another great story told about Rabbi Kahaneman, that one day he was on a fundraising mission to Rome. And he got there very late at night, and it was storming. And he told his driver that he had to go to the Arch of Titus before he went to his hotel. What's the Arch of Titus? The Arch of Titus is that great memorial in the city of Rome, commemorating what? When the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. When the Romans destroyed our Beis HaMikdash, our holy temple. When the Romans at that point seemingly destroyed everything that the Jewish people were. That's what the Arch of Titus is. So if Kahaneman goes to the Arch of Titus, stormy, rainy night, he gets out of his car, already a man well on in his years at the time. He walks over to the arch. He looks up at the arch, and he says, Titus! Ich bin dur! I am here! But where are you? Look at us! We have so much to show for it. The Jewish people have lived on and have thrived, but where are you? Where are your descendants? Where is Rome? And we can ask that question time and time again. Hitler! Ich bin dur! We are here! But where are you? And that's the lesson of Rabbi Akiva, and that's the lesson of Lag BaOmer. The Jewish people don't just get knocked down and fall down and get trampled upon. No, we get knocked down a lot throughout history. But you know what we do when we get knocked down? We get up and we thrive on, and we keep that torch of Rabbi Akiva alive, doing it the exact same way that he did it. I'd like to wish you all a very happy Lag BaOmer and a very happy Shavuos.
He saw crevice stones from the water's tide, and he felt the strength he had inside. He knew then that it's not too late to reach the sky.